I did build a house and we did move in, and as time went on I got involved in different organizations because we started having bad air days and especially bad air nights. A little over 5 years ago, my wife then got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and even though she lived for 3 years after she was diagnosed, which is pretty unheard of with pancreatic cancer, and was, to say the least, a real blessing. That was 2 years ago in August, and things got worse after that. After she passed away, we had a flood here in town by the end of September. It was 2 days after the flood. I was diagnosed with ALM leukemia, which is an acute leukemia, but simply the fact that there's no cancer in either one of our families. People die of other things, but not usually cancer.
And it took us a while to kind of coordinate the fact that we were both smelling something really bad, because he'd get up in the morning before me and he'd go to work and he will have smelled it, but then we didn't really talk about it. At the end of the day, you forgot about it. And then I will smell it on my way out the door. And then finally, it was just so horrendous one night in the middle of the night that we were like, man, have you ever smelled that? You know? And so we finally, between the two of us, realized we'd both been experiencing this. So we started reaching out to the neighbors and saying, you know, what is that smell?
The odor is very pungent, and it makes your eyes water, throat hurts, gives headaches, earaches. It affects the whole upper area of your body.
It was something that you wouldn't miss, because it was, you know, the best way to describe it is that it was an ammoniated kind of smell. Now we all know what ammonia smells like. But when you can stand in your front yard or in your house and wake up in the middle of the night and have a taste in your mouth, and it goes hand in hand with what you're smelling, and your house is closed up.
To me, it's kind of a burnt metallic smell, and it comes here at random different times.
We're, what, 4 miles from the plant as the crow flies.
Right.
It's not like we bought the house
next
and we're
door
across the street from the plant. We used to have friends that were in the stink club. That was what it was called before. It was Neighbors for Clean Air.
Yeah.
But they lived on a 4-generation farm closer to the plant. And they'd call us up and they'd say, it's coming your way. And next thing you know, sure enough, an hour later, maybe sometimes 3 hours later, sometimes it would be midnight, you know, and it would be here, and it would be just strong as can be. And then we have friends up on 676, and next thing you know, they'd call us. A few hours afterwards, they had it, and it would be in a straight line from north or south to north, just boom, just right up. It's like we're sitting in some kind of an alley that it just comes our way. We're just lucky.
Yeah,
we're the chosen few.
But like I said, I grew up in farm country in northern Ohio, and grew up by a now closed plant that used to can vegetables commercially. And it reminds me a lot of when they were canning sauerkraut. But like I said, throw in an acid overtone and an ammonia base. So if you can picture those odeurs together, you can understand why people are concerned.
I've been keeping a stink diary since 1998, and we used to average. We had gotten up to an average in 2000, right before the Almain closed. We had averaged 87 stink episodes a year.
When you walk out, I remember the first time I walked outside in the spring, and I'm like, oh boy, it's spring. And I throw open the door and I go, and this stuff hit my face. It was toxins. It was such an affront. It was such a horrible, horrible, horrible thing to happen. It was like the death of spring. How could anybody kill spring?